Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thank you for stopping by today. So today we're just going to be doing a pretty simple basic eyeshadow look. The main focus is this. I don't know if you've ever seen me use this. I have used it before on the channel. So it's the Milk Makeup Eye Pigment, and the shade, what shade are you? Oh, it's Afterparty, I've just remembered. So that's Afterparty, and I thought I would use the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. It's got some really nice beautiful tones, and I think they'd be really complimentary, especially this like lilac lavender shade here. So yeah, I think we're going to use this palette as well. But before all that, the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette doesn't have a cream ivory shading, so we're going to use my trusty Too Faced chocolate bar, the white chocolate shade that I always use. Now I don't have the NYX base down just because we're using that cream, so I'm just gonna put this on to smooth it out anyway and make sure all the eyeshadows blend nicely together. Right, so that's that. And then I think I'm just going to pop this on the lids, and then we'll go in with some crease shades from the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. Like I said, it's just going to be a really simple look featuring this. So I've only put the tiniest amount on. This is really good. I absolutely love this. It's a really nice rose gold pink tone. It's really pretty. Once it's dried down, it just stays put. Maybe I shouldn't have put powder here, but it seems to be going on fine. So that's the shade there. It does say Afterparty there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it though. And I would like more of these. I got this one from TK Maxx. I think it was about £4.99 or £5.99. I wouldn't pay, I don't think, what Milk Makeup charge on their website for them. I mean, they're good, don't get me wrong, but I don't use it that often. And what I'm going to do more often now is just start pulling things like single Colourpop shadows, especially as I know they're drying up because I've had them at this point a good few years. I do want to start pulling one or two of them, and I also want to pull liquids because I don't want them to dry up. As you saw in the previous video, my Ciate London glitter flip dried up just after 2-3 weeks, so I certainly don't want any of the other eyeshadows to be like that. Yeah, I'm liking that. So what we're going to do now then, let's go into the Huda. I think I either want to use Off Balance or I want to use Libra. Let's swatch both of these. So that one's Off Balance, that one's Libra. I need to swatch them to see. I could use them both. I could use that in the crease and then that in the outer V. Yeah, let's do that. Let's deepen it out with Libra. Got a ton of brushes here. Yeah, I'm going to try and use this. I think it's a Profusion one. Yeah, it's come out of one of the Profusion palettes I've got. So I'm just going to see if there's any colour on it. I don't think there is. I think it's just stained. And then we're going to go in with Libra, which is that really nice lavender shade. I have not used this palette for a hot minute, guys. Absolutely adore it. I'm so glad I got this palette. And I'm going to take it quite high up. Obviously, I say this in practically every single video. I do have hooded lids, so I want to be able to see my eyeshadow when my eyes open. That is just blended in so seamlessly with this Afterparty shade by Milk. Look at it, it's blended in so well. It's like a 5-minute eye look. I mean, it's nothing revolutionary or groundbreaking. I just thought I would show you, you know, how I'm pairing them together. And I was just going to use the Milk Makeup and my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and use the Salted Caramel shade from it just to get more use, because I want to do a project pan update on that palette soon. It's certainly due. It's meant to be due on the 26th of April and now we're like the 10th of May. So yeah, it really needs to go up soon. If I don't use it for anything else after I've used these palettes for this week, then I'll just do the update and you can see it as it is. I mean, obviously I've done alright on it, but I could have done better. If I would have just used that palette for the full month, there would be so much more progress. I probably would have been nearly out of the white chocolate shade completely if I'd have done that, but I like testing the palettes that I have in my collection just to see if I want to keep them or declutter them. So I'm really liking the way that's looking, guys. I might have to put some more of that Milk Makeup shade down, but before we do that, I want to deepen it out. And for that, I'm going in with the BH Cosmetics 122. Just this brush here. And then we're going in with Off Balance. I might dip into, actually, Off Balance and Hot Mess. Yeah, let's do that. Let's really deepen it out. Can't really see it. I'm saying let's really deepen it out. I think then, right, we'll forget about Off Balance because obviously that's making it lighter. We'll just go in with Hot Mess. Yeah, that's better. And that'll be the shade we choose for the lash line as well, so it meets up in the outer V. I might actually put it through the crease a little bit as well. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just winging it here, guys, so it could turn out to be what the shade is, a bloody hot mess. So it's looking good though. I like the deepness through the crease there. Yeah, that's good. I always struggle with this left eye. So after this video I've got to film my Shop My Stash. So it's been... I filmed it on the 2nd and like I said we're now on the 10th. So it's been... Actually, is it the 10th or the 11th? We're on the 11th. So I keep saying the 10th. It's actually the 11th. So it's actually been 9 days since I've had all those products in my Shop My Stash, which isn't a bad thing because there was quite a few new things in there, blushes and whatnot, that I wanted to test, and I am keeping some of them in there. I don't think I'll be pulling blushes out. If I do, it won't be very many. So I'm just giving you a heads up. The Shop My Stash will probably go up before this video does anyway, because I've still got some eyeshadow looks that I did last week and they're still not up, and that's with the Lottie London, the Mauves palette. So yeah, just because I've had other videos to film really, so they've been pushed back. I'm really liking the way this is looking. Okay, so now then, oh yeah, I'm going to go back in with a tiny bit more of this. That's nice. But the thing is, I didn't need to go in with a tiny bit more of this because I'm putting a shade over it. I forgot about that shade. I mean, this is just going to be acting as a base for it. But while that dries, let's go in with a lash line shade, which is going to be the same shade as we put in the outer V, which is the Hot Mess. Sorry, we haven't zoomed in, have we? I'm always doing this. I get so sidetracked that I just forget. And we need an inner corner highlight as well, so we'll see what we can use out of the Huda palette. Can you see how bad it's running? We'll leave that like that. So runny. Right, now I need to go in with an inner corner highlight. And at this point, I really think the only shade that we could probably use is Supermoon. I mean, I quite like Galaxy, but I think that's going to be too dark. My eyeshadow's already becoming a mess. Can you see how it's bleeding here? Let's try and get rid of that before it dries on us. I think the simple solution for me is just not to wear a shade on the lash line, because especially this left eye, I don't know what's wrong with it. I always look like I've been crying once I've used it. Right, so I think we'll go in with Supermoon for the inner corners. If I put that brush, I'll just use a different one. We're going to use the Real Techniques Definer brush for this. Now this shade, from what I remember, isn't that pigmented. I mean, it looks it on the brush, but when it goes on it's not. But people tell me it's a glitter topper, so I mean, it's not looking too bad. Right, and then the shimmer that I want to go over this, you probably guessed it, is Cosmic. If you have this palette, you would have guessed what I'm going to use. This is the only shade that I can use, and it's a very similar colour. It's a very similar pink. I just hope I'm not making a mistake. I just wanted to show you a look with the palette, and also a look with that Milk makeup, so we can cross this off the list basically that we've used it. Right, where's the Too Faced chocolate bar? I need that white chocolate shade for brow bone. Right, and I'm going to struggle for mascara now, guys. I'm not putting eyeliner on just because it's running already and I don't want to make it worse. But mascara, I've had so many problems with my mascaras. 2 have dried up on me. I've not been able to get into town to get a new one. I feel like there's hair on me. So I'm going to have to try and use the Essence one, but I know it's drying up on me. And yesterday, it made my eyelashes really clumpy. I feel like there's hair on my face. So let's try it again. So it's just the Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. I mean, I'm not mad that I can't use it because I've been using it for months, whereas the other 2 mascaras that dried up were brand new. Still working. But yesterday when I did the left eye, it went clumpy. I don't think I'm going to dip back into the tube. I'm just going to use whatever's on the brush. So it's a really thin coat of mascara. Yeah, that'll do. As long as there's some colour there, I don't mind. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to the pharmacy in a minute for my mum, and I'm just going to see you know, what they have there. I know they do Rimmel, but Rimmel can be quite expensive. I prefer like drugstore, like Essence. Essence are like £3 and Rimmel are like 6, 7, 8, even go up to £10. And I'm not going to spend that on a mascara. I don't want to spend it. I could get 2 or 3 mascaras from Essence for that. So yeah, I'll just wait and use as much of the Essence mascara that I can until it completely dies on me. So right, so like I said, I'm just taking the lip balm off. Okay, so like I said, we'll be doing a Shop My Stash soon, and I haven't used this one. So this is the Kiko in the shade, where are you? 04. It's just a really nice red. So that's what it looks like. It's really glossy. Look, really glossy. That is just not mass friendly appropriate, is it? But it will be a while until I go out, so yeah, this should be okay for now, and then I'll probably put a more matte lipstick on. So this concludes the look, guys. This is what we're looking like. Wait a minute, I think I need to blend this out a little bit. See, the more I blend it sometimes, the more my eyes water. So the right eye isn't as bad. This eye, this left eye, I've had so much drama with it since I was really young. And I was nearly blind, you know. I've got a slight stigma. You can notice that on camera. When I'm editing, you can notice it. It's kind of like I've got a lazy eye. So yeah, it is really noticeable. But they're just my eyes. I can't really do anything about that. But yeah, this is why I have so much trouble with the left eye, I think. I'm due to go to the opticians really soon, so I'll speak to my optician and I'll just tell them that they've been watering really badly. But it's only when I put eye makeup on, so he'll probably tell me not to wear as much eye makeup, and I'm not going to do that. But yeah, I mean, what I could do is just not put a lash line shade down, but then it doesn't look right, it doesn't look cohesive. So I just need to be a little bit careful with this left eye. If it waters really badly, don't put eyeliner on and don't tight line with it, because that could cause infections. So yeah, but other than that, I'm really enjoying this look. So we're looking like that. Absolutely adore this palette. Like I said earlier, I am so glad I got this. I got it in the Harrods sale, and I think it was like £42, and I'm sure it's over 50 if you don't buy it in the sale. So yeah, I'm really happy that I picked it up. As you can see, there's not much usage on it. I do want to use it more. For this time when Pretty Random has pulled it out, it needs to go back, and I need to use the other Shop My Stash eyeshadow palettes that Pretty Random chose out for me. So for tomorrow, I think, let's move this glass before. So for tomorrow, I think I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Retro Paradise. This is another favourite, and I think they still do it. I'm sure I've seen it on the e.l.f. website, but that was a few months back. I don't know if they still do it now. But yeah, it's just so beautiful and reminds me of summer so much. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing a look with the e.l.f. Retro Paradise. A bit of a spoiler alert there, but look out for that, especially if you like that palette or you have that palette.